Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about conversation tactics by looking at a conversation between Kevin Hart and Ellen DeGeneres on The Ellen Show. Here we're going to see Kevin is going to talk about a sensitive topic, and we're going to see the skills that Ellen uses to make a safe space, a respectful space for Kevin to express himself and then get honest and genuine, and also while staying comfortable. And so hopefully you can take lessons from this so that you can help make others around you feel safe and comfortable in conversation. So here we're going to switch to the video, and let's play a bit of it.
And I embrace them all because I'm a better man today because of them. In this case, I just said I'm going to walk away because I felt like it was a conversation that was just going to continue and continue and continue. I would much rather say I'm sorry again and walk away because I want to be done with the conversation.
And you can see from the facial expression of Kevin, the eyes you see around here is kind of tight because he's nervous. His lips are closed. He's nervous because this is a serious conversation for him. However, he's opening his eyes, which shows that he's opening up to Ellen about what he's saying. Yeah.
I don't want to have this.
Oh, and I didn't see that before. There's a lip tremble. Look carefully at his lips. Yeah, his lips trembled.
Anymore because I know who I am. I'm not that guy.
I know you're not that guy because I know you.
So the first thing that Ellen does is validate and accept and agree with Kevin to make him feel understood, acknowledged, and supported. This is a key conversation tactic, a key conversation skill that you can use to make others feel comfortable around you. Whatever they say, acknowledge them for what they said and agree with them if you do actually agree with what they said.
So I'm going to take a break because I have thoughts, but I want that to stay exactly as it is. So I'll take a break and then I'll give you my thoughts because I think that the night will be about you.
Well, okay, so the reason I wanted to play this part is to show the conversation tactic that Ellen is using. Let me switch back to me. Yeah, so Ellen's conversation tactic here is to pay respect to what Kevin just said by responding with time, space, silence. So if someone says something serious, it's important to not react too quickly because then it feels like you didn't give it the appropriate amount of consideration and thought. There's a lack of thoughtfulness if you respond too quickly. So one of the ways you can demonstrate thoughtfulness and demonstrate that you're considerate is to pause in a comfortable manner. So the way that she makes it comfortable is she explicitly says why she's going to give some space. Otherwise, if she just said nothing, it would be uncomfortable, awkward silence. You don't want to create that. You want to explain the silence. You want to say, hey, you just said something really key, and I want to take some time to let that sink in. So let me take some time. We're going to take some time, take a tiny break for me to process what you just said. This is a conversation tactic for you to give respect to what someone else has said. We'll continue this conversation here. So here we see that, we'll play the video.
I just have to say this because we talked right when this happened. You called me right when it happened and said, I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm not going to say anything till I'm on your show. So, and then we talked because I called you. His movie is so amazing to tell him how
Skipping
great
ahead.
I really want you to host the Oscars. I think that I was so excited when I heard that.
So what we're going to see here, as you can see in the title, is let me briefly summarize the first video. The first video, Kevin says that he faced some difficulty in taking on the Oscars host job, and so now he doesn't want to do the job anymore because he he gave a reason which you can see in the video if you watch it. Now Ellen, however, wants now to convince and persuade Kevin to still take. I guess I should switch camera back to me. Oh, I never left me. Whoops. Oh, okay. Yeah. So she wants to persuade and convince Kevin to change his mind. So here we're going to see some conversation tactics on how to address a sensitive issue, give your opinion, and convince and persuade someone else to change their line of thinking to what you want them to think. Okay, let's see if I actually change to the video this time. Okay, let's see.
Told them, I said, Kevin's on. I have no idea if he wants to come back and host, but what are your thoughts? And they were like, oh my God, we want him to host. We feel like that maybe he misunderstood or it was handled.
Let's
we would be
skip
thrilled.
ahead.
And he should help us saying, what can we do to make this happen? And I'm saying to you that as can we do to make this happen?
And then I'm going back because I want to point out, you see that Kevin's body language shows that he's listening intently. This is a very good sign. So I guess part of this video is going to be analyzing body language as well. So you can see that, hand on chin means he's thinking typically. Typically, body language is fairly subconscious. So you can get a pretty good read on what's going on in someone's head based on what they're subconsciously doing. And yeah, here you can see eyes are open, but thoughtful eyebrows, kind of like he's listening intently is essentially his body language right now.
I'm saying to you that as one of the smartest people I know, one of the funniest people I know, and when you see this movie.
So another thing that Ellen is doing is one of the terms is buttering him up. You want to lavish someone with a lot of compliments. I guess switch camera back to me. Yeah, you want to if you're trying to convince someone to change their mind, you want to. One of the worst ways to do it is to beat them down, like to insult them, to say, like to criticize them, like, no, you think you're so great? Let me bring you down to a lower level where I'm higher than you. Therefore, I should tell you what to do. Therefore, I have authority to tell you what to do. No. This is a very, that's like beat down and oppress. That's like oppressive persuasion techniques. What Ellen is doing instead is she's building the person up to make them feel good, to feel good about themselves, to feel confident about themselves, to feel secure about themselves, to get into a good mood, a healthy mindset, so that they can be more receptive to hear what she has to say next. So yeah, compliments go a long way when you're trying to persuade someone to your line of thinking. Let's go back to the video.
You see the talent and see his acting ability and what the different.
Some more compliments. I'll keep skipping ahead. Yeah.
And you growing as I'm going to stand.
Yep. More compliments.
That's
oh, okay.
Haters out there. What you to say, I understand, and to not pay attention. There are so many haters out there. Whatever's going on in the internet, don't pay attention to them. That's a small group of people being very, very loud. We are a huge group of people who love you and want to see you host the Oscars.
Yeah, so here she's using logic. So when you make your argument, you should have some form of persuasion then there's, last time we spoke about like intent, strategy, execution. So I guess her intent is to persuade Kevin Hart to host the Oscars again. Her strategy is to, build his confidence up and then deliver a logical argument as to why he can and should still be able to take that job if he wants to. So then, but the key is that before you start throwing your logic and your thoughts, you want to open the other person up to hear your thoughts. And a good method to do so is to build them up through compliments, through praise, through showing that you respect them. And then also, part of it is implied, and I guess maybe I didn't show the parts of the video where Ellen assures him that he does care about him. She is his friend, and she is acting right now out of good intentions for him. So that's also something you should make clear, is that your intention is good, then you respect the other person, and then you build them up, and then you deliver your logical argument. So let's see what else we can learn
What I can say
from this video.
is this. I can say that there's a flip side. Okay, the flip side is to any attack. You know, there's just another side. There's a B side. There's always an A side. There's a B side. On my side, openly, I say I'm wrong for my. I'm in front of it because
This is the issue. If you want to know, you can watch the video yourself.
I'm on social media. 1,000 tweets, malicious attacking tactics.
Okay, I guess I'll briefly summarize. The point that he's making is that he feels personally attacked. He feels like his job and future is in jeopardy. And then, yeah, I guess, yeah, I don't want to get into that in this video. This is funny story. And then, okay, so now, this is the aftermath of the conversation. So, just to recap, Kevin Hart was going to become an Oscar host, take a job. However, there was a huge backlash on social media, so then he backed out of taking the job. And then now Ellen is trying to convince him to take the job. I guess I should put camera back on me. Ellen's trying to convince him to take the job. And the way that Ellen has done this is, first, she's given him the space to speak his mind and express himself the way that he wants to. That's the first video. That's like a 6-minute long video where he goes on a long monologue to explain his point of view. So this is important. When you're trying to convince someone or just talk to people in general, you want to let them express themselves fully so that they feel heard and understood and acknowledged. So first, there's no way that they can be understood and heard if you don't give them a chance to speak. So conversation tactic number 1, let them speak their mind, let them express themselves. Conversation tactic number 2 is, once they've expressed themselves, acknowledge it. Be considerate, be thoughtful with your response, and acknowledge and support them if you agree with what they said, so that they feel that you care, that you support them, that you're on their side. So step 1 is that gains their trust. So that's step 1. Step 2 is then you build them up, you prepare them, you open them up to listen to you more. If I keep giving you compliments, then you like listening to me. So you'll be more receptive and willing to hear what I have to say next. So that's conversation tactic number 2, and I guess persuasion tactic number 2. And then step 3 is then you deliver a logical argument as to why they should change their mind, why they should think differently. You present that logical argument, and then you let them respond. That's also, again, in the next video, in one of the videos. I guess I'll put the links in the description so you can watch the videos yourself. But yeah, he then responds and says, oh, I have these concerns, like I hear you, but these are fears that I have. Like, again, he expresses himself even more fully. And the key point is that because he knows that he can express himself fully, given that in the beginning, step 1, Ellen let Kevin express himself fully, then now on step 3, when he's responding to having heard your logical argument, he's going to be more honest and open and genuine to tell you the actual truth. That's the key. I guess that's the key point of this. One of these videos is, this video is that he goes into the detail of what is the real reason he backed out. So in the beginning, he gave like a PR reason, like this is the reason that I will tell everybody in public, because it's best for my career and my future. But then the next time he gives an answer, he says, this is, as a friend, let me tell you the honest truth. This is my personal, real truth as to why I'm giving this decision. So the way that Ellen was able to uncover that was using the conversation tactics of allowing him to speak his mind, acknowledging and supporting what he has said, and then delivering a logical argument, and then sitting back and waiting and listening to let him speak his mind once more. And then now we're going to watch the aftermath of all of that.
We're back with this year's Oscar host, Kevin Hart.
So Ellen, this is another tactic. She's cracking a joke that she has already successfully convinced Kevin to change his mind. And so this is good on multiple levels. One is it's a joke, so it lightens the mood, it's funny, it's laughing. And second of all, it's kind of like anchoring, which is a topic and a concept where if you say something or describe something a certain way, then other people's minds will latch onto it. I guess I should put camera back on me. Other people's minds will latch onto it and begin thinking the way that you say it. So like if you say the sky is red, like, can you imagine that the sky is red? And then you'll probably be able to imagine it, but then you'll say, no, the sky's not red. Well, but I told you to imagine it. So at some level you thought about and imagined the sky is red. So next time if I keep saying the sky is red, then you'll be mapped to that same imagery of seeing and thinking that the sky is red, even though the sky is not red, the sky is blue. But I'm trying to persuade you to think that the sky is red. So by saying that the sky is red, it makes it more likely that your subconscious mind will latch on to the picture that the sky is red, because it takes a lot of effort for your mind to go through the logical process of rejecting and denying and then checking with facts to go, wait, the sky, I mean, on sunset, the sky is red, but no, the sky is blue, blah, blah, blah. So essentially, a tactic to successfully persuade at the end is you can crack a joke as if you already successfully persuaded them. Okay, camera back on the video.
I think that you have said a lot of amazing things. You have put a lot of things on my mind. And I know
So that means that he heard what Ellen had to say. I think that's the most impressive thing about this set of videos, and and this is why I think it's worth going through them to learn lessons from them. Like, how many times have you tried to tell someone else something and they just forget, or they just ignore it, or it doesn't sink in? They didn't hear what you said. Like they physically heard what you said, but they didn't like really in their mind hear what it is that you said, what you meant, like many layers of deep understanding and connection is not achieved. Oftentimes because people didn't follow the tactics that Ellen uses. So definitely use those tactics to more successfully communicate.
our relationship stands. So leaving here, I'm promising you, I'm evaluating this conversation. This is a conversation I needed to have. I'm glad that
Okay, I guess that's the all I wanted to say on the topic. I hope you found this video helpful. I would do a recap, but I feel like I summarized myself many times over the course of the video, so I won't do a recap. Thank you for tuning in, and I need to figure out what to say at the end. All the best. Oh, how do I end this?